Hi. Hey y'all. Welcome to the Clean Way with Marilana. I'm so excited to have you here. And I'm so excited to be here. A little over a year ago, two doctors told me I was too sick to treat. And my family members just thought I lost my mind or smoked some bad herb. And it wasn't a fun time. But now I'm here and I'm ready to help others, and I'm so excited about it. So the Clean Way is just going to be some tips and informational series on how to help you deal with modern day life, toxins today, and navigating all these diet plans and all these things that you're hearing about environmental illnesses and bacterial illnesses and mold and toxic mold. I think is an epidemic right now, and my family was in panic mode, but now I'm past that panic mode and I'm not healed yet. I'm not fully clean, and I want to help all of you get clean, and I want to be able to help you help somebody in your family. And I think that the Clean Way really can help anybody, whether you have cancer, whether you just want to feel a little better, whether you want to get some of your age back, your health back. I'm in a process now, and I invite you to continue to do it with me. I'll be posting on YouTube. I'll have an Instagram, Facebook, Twitter pages, The Clean Way with Marilana, and just come on board and give me your comments and tell me the kind of things that you want to hear about, and I hope to make it, as interactive as possible. So I have to look at my notes a little bit because brain fog is a big thing that I still suffer with. I still have a lot of symptoms, and I discovered that brain fog is not normal. And I'm here to tell you that you do not have an addiction, and you do not have a thyroid. Well, you could have a thyroid problem that's causing a weight problem, but it's still not you. It's still not you. And you just need to make that discovery as to what is making you sensitive. For me and for my family, it was mold, and it was toxic molds. And 1 in 4 people will die if they're exposed to black mold and toxic molds or pesticides to a certain level. Even my cat is sick now, and we have some residual symptoms a year and a half later after leaving a very toxic home. And the only thing I could think of is it was like detoxing from drugs. And for me, it was that bad, it was so extreme. And then in the process, I actually lost 3 friends, 4 friends, just so many, to cancer up in New York, and then 2 most recently to early drug addiction or early suicide. And the last one really prompted me to get this channel up and to get things started before I felt I was really healed and I was really ready. And I had to keep changing my date this weekend because my head just isn't there all the time. The body just doesn't work with me. But I'm much better because I just got rid of my wheelchair that I was in for 7 years. I was paying like $800 a month for a wheelchair, ramp van to get around. And nobody really understood what was happening to me. I had a few diagnoses. I was diagnosed with syringomyelia, spinal cord cysts, and it seemed to make sense that I was having breathing issues and it related. Then I was diagnosed with syringobulbia, which is a cyst in my brain swelling. So it seemed normal that I would have some neurological symptoms and some depression, but the doctors would treat me like I was crazy. My family was treating me like I was just crazy, and no matter what research and whatever I did, it was helping a little bit, but not to the level until we were living in this toxic mold home. And that's when I knew what it was, and I felt like crack. I felt like I had taken crack, and as much as I could know what that was, I actually did have some friends along the way. High school, I think we all do know somebody. We've lost a family member to drug addiction, or we know somebody who's been on drugs, or we ourselves, you yourself has had some type of addiction. We all suffer from some weakness. And I had 2 friends that I just lost recently, and I had finally understood them. One was just so loving, but she was the biggest pain in the neck. You couldn't trust her for anything. She was going to rob you. She'll take your things, you couldn't rely on her. It's very hard to be friendly with people when you can't be relied upon. So, to Cookie, this is why I'm up and running, even though, I don't look the way I want. I'm not ready the way I would want, the way the professional Marilana was in the past. But right now, I'm not yet there. I am following also the clean way every day. Every day I do something more and more towards that. So to Cookie, the last loss, yeah, I had a feeling. I felt like I could relate to your manic depression and issues that you had. And it wasn't until Mom told me after you passed that I had a feeling. And she said you only were comfortable at the beach. Does that sound like you out there? Yeah, best place at the beach. You had a lot of allergies when you were young, and the doctors couldn't really figure you out. And then they probably thought they did. They diagnosed you with bipolar, and they gave you some medication, and you didn't like that because I've spoken to a lot of people that have been diagnosed with so-called bipolar, and they get these manics, and they like when they're high, because when they're high, a lot of times, whatever they call it, they feel more productive. They don't like the lows and the depressions, and that medicine that kind of calms them down. They lose that edge. They lose that thing that makes them interesting. And I'm gonna get back the thing that makes me interesting, and the thing that made me interesting was my focus. And so brain fog, not your fault. No age. Brain fog is not normal. Even Freud said it. Nothing is an addiction. Everything is based on something organic. So the clean way, we're going to discover together little by little, what is that thing? How do we get your nature and nurture to work better together? What kind of tips can you do right away without having to measure your food or say, oh, I'm gluten-free, I'm sugar-free, I do all of that. Yes, I do. But it is more than that, and yet it is the simple things that will wind up meaning the most for you. So my hair is coming back. I had Rasta locks down to my waist when we discovered that we were living in this toxic mold home. We left, and 6 months later, I had to cut them off, and I couldn't believe it. I had been a top hairstylist up in Manhasset, New York for years, and then I had been really a maverick teacher, English teacher of English, and I was a grants coordinator, brought in over $300,000 in grants money to my schools, and came to Georgia, went to Georgia for a different life for me and my son. And I had a bad fall, and that was normal. That would have caused some pain and maybe some neurological lingering symptoms, but it just kind of continued. And then it wasn't until we checked into this home of death. And the scary thing is that there are probably, I think they say 1 in 4 homes worldwide have been damaged by water. The events, whether you want to call it extreme climate, extreme weather, whatever you want to call it, there's been a lot more rain in the forecast around the world, except for the West Coast and some other places that have had drought and fires. And it's not just the environment, that's affecting the environment, it's affecting us, every little cell in our body. Coming back slowly. My skin is coming back. My hair is coming back slowly. I still have some issues with my scalp, and I'm going to hopefully, show you the healing process along with you. My eyes, I couldn't look at myself for months. I couldn't dress myself for months. I was just so foggy. My brain was just riddled with poisons. Nobody thought I would come back. 2 doctors said I was too ill to treat. And then I got on a mold protocol, a clean protocol, and one of the light bulb moments was when my doctor said, you don't need to test genetic testing, because I'd read online and everybody wanted to know what kind of genetics they have and why, and she told me that didn't matter, and I had tried every other eating plan, and I was missing the piece of the mold, and a lot of crops, a lot of the food supply has been contaminated. And the big thing that the clean way is really all about is just sourcing, helping you. I'm going to try to give you some tips quickly to tell you things that you can buy and you can get to. But I haven't set up with distributors yet. I haven't set up to get any money off of that. So it might go slow and it might just burst. But I have a wealth of knowledge, and I'm just so glad you're tuning in. And I can't wait to give you all that knowledge little by little to show you how, you can too live the clean way and get your life back and save yourself from, yes, cancer, addiction, any health issue. And again, just a few months back, I could not have told you that. And now I'm here to tell you that I'm ready to get clean with you, completely clean. I'm ready, with the eyeballs, the skin back. And the beautiful thing is that if you do these things the clean way, you can actually rejuvenate your age, because every 7 years your cells rejuvenate. Every 7 years your entire body is rejuvenated. And you do still have control over that. Age does not have to be defying or defining. And you can work with me the clean way. So come and check me out. Stay tuned and let's get clean together. Thanks so much. Bless you all.